Rob, welcome to Axel's Garage. All right, it's cold out, it's windy out, so we got the wireless mic hooked up. Hopefully that'll shield as much of the wind as possible. But we're on our second or third video of wiring on this old food truck that we bought. Now we've had a bunch of wiring gremlins, right? No headlights, no directionals. When we can get the headlights to work, the directionals won't work, all kinds of crap. So in the last video, and I'll put a link to it up here, and you could, if you want to start off with us fresh, we replaced the headlight switch and the dimmer switch. And for those millennials, the dimmer switch is on the floor, and you hit it with your foot, and that turns your high beams on or low beams on, depending on what position the switch is. And it turned out that our headlight switch, although it looked like crap, was actually working good. Put a new one in, but our dimmer switch was completely rotted because that's on the floor. There was a lot of water hitting it, and it just fell apart when we took it apart. And that's why our headlights weren't working consistently, was because that dimmer switch wasn't making good contact. So now we have headlights. They're crappy bulbs, and they're very dim, and they're old, and they're beat up, and they need to be replaced. But we have power to our headlights, both high and low beams. But what happens is when we turn those headlights on, we lose our directionals for some reason. Now, we know we got a bad directional switch in the column, but that's not why we're losing our directionals, because no matter how we power that circuit, even if we just give it battery power temporarily with a jumper, we lose the ability to have directionals, even when we can get that switch to work by jiggling it a little bit. So we got a lot of rewiring to do, because instead of trying to troubleshoot, which would probably take us forever, it's getting cold, the winter's coming, and we want to get this thing set so that we can use it, because we were getting home from work on a daily basis with this truck before it got dark, and now that it's getting dark earlier, we need the lights. And we have had a couple of night events that we've attended, and we have temporarily wired fog lights that we use in as headlights. Don't have any taillights. We have temporary brake lights zip tied to the back bumper. It's a mess, so we're trying to get it straightened out. So in this video, we're going to replace the neutral safety switch. Now, for those of you familiar with neutral safety switches in the older vehicles, right, the neutral safety switch, what that does is that will only allow the start circuit to activate when the vehicle is either in park or in neutral. And that's why they call it a neutral safety switch. All right, we got one on best price. Everywhere we searched was Amazon. Once you figure the shipping in from a lot of the other places, the Amazon Prime stuff is better. Remember, you're paying whatever that Amazon Prime fee is, $100, $120 a year. But if you're buying a lot of stuff like we do over the course of the year, it's pennies for each item shipped. It's an NS52, which is a standard neutral safety switch for a lot of these older GM vehicles. It mounts on the column, and I'll show you exactly where it's going to mount. And how it operates is this little tab here goes into an opening in the steering column, and as you go from park to neutral to drive to low to reverse, it's going to move the column on the inside, and that will move this, and that will give power to these contacts accordingly, or close or open these circuits accordingly, and allow you to either start the vehicle or not start the vehicle, depending on what gear it's in. Now, I'm not an expert in these things. I can't remember the last time I replaced a neutral safety switch, but I believe the reason why there's two sets of contacts, one wire harness is going to be for your start circuit. So it's going to be heavier wires. It's going to be going down to your starter solenoid, and it's going to interrupt the power flow if the vehicle's not in park or neutral, which is not going to engage the starter. The second set, I believe, and I certainly hope, that the second set is going to sense when the vehicle's in reverse and activate the backup lights, the white lights in the back of the vehicle, which we don't have any right now. We have nothing back there. But we're hoping that we're going to be able to take power coming off of here and use that for our circuit for the add-on lights that we're going to put in the back. And we're going to test that with a test light. So I'm going to move the camera to hopefully give you a better view of where this neutral safety switch is located in this vehicle, and a lot of other vehicles too. It's right on the column. Some of them you got to go down under, they're near the transmission. Some of them are just under the dash. This one right on the column. It's the most basic GM one there is, and I'll give you a shot of it. All right, so right on the column here, you can see here's our switch. It's mounted right on the back side of the column, and there is an opening where the switch goes in. Reach up here. All right, it's a 1/4 inch little machine screw. All right, and there's two of them. There's one on either side. You just pull them out and the switch comes out. All right, don't lose your machine screws because new ones don't come in the box. All right, and here's your neutral safety switch. Like I said, you got this big purple wire and the yellow wire. This is going to be your start circuit, and we're hoping right here the blue and the green wire is our so what you could do to troubleshoot it, you could see this one here doesn't have the tab on it anymore. That's supposed to come off and go inside the column through an opening in the back. That tab is gone, and that's probably why this switch isn't working. All right, but what you could do to troubleshoot it is just plug your new switch in and go with a test light and see if we're getting power through those circuits. So I'm going to unplug these two. I'm going to take the new switch. All right, I'm going to plug those wires in there. And this one does have a cutout to go with that cutout there so that you can't put it in backwards. It's just closing and opening a circuit, so it shouldn't matter which way you put it in. All right, now with the ignition off, we can test with our test light. All right, and see if we have any current in either one. Okay, with the ignition off, we have no current in either one. So let me get the key, and we'll turn that ignition on. All right, so now with the ignition on, all right, I have nothing in both of these circuits. And I have power to that blue circuit. Okay, but I have no power to the green circuit. Now, all right, as I turn this, I still have power that whole way, so now I'll go to the green. All right, and you can see as I move this to where reverse would be, hopefully, I have my light lights up, and then once I go down into drive, that will turn off. So that's going to be my reverse light circuit right there. Now for the start circuit, the ignition on, I don't have power on either of these. So if we know that reverse was in the middle, okay, and we're not in reverse now, so if we move a little bit, we get to reverse eventually. There we are. And then we're either going to go down into drive that way or park the other way, I'm not sure. But let's check and see if we have any ignition. All right, so I can start it when it's down there, so that's probably park. Now we'll turn it all the way up the other way. And I can start it there too, which really sucks because it seems like it's not interrupting. But let's plug it in and see what happens when we put it up and over here. I was under the assumption that it would work, but of course it didn't. At least we got our lights. All right, so when you put it in the back, you can feel inside there's a groove in the column on the inside. So when you're going to put it up in here, you want to get that tab in that groove without breaking that tab off. So you got to do it's a little feel. You got to feel up and in there. All right, so it feels like it's in there. Okay, the groove is like sort of like going out at. All right, it feels like it's in that groove. So I'll grab one of my machine screws, and I'll screw this in, and we'll see if this will work for us. Okay, so now I got the neutral safety switch in place, and if we look at the old one, okay, you can see on the bottom of the old one, there are oval holes where the screws go through, and that's so that this tab that's broken off on this one will be sticking out into the column, and those are so that you can adjust it just a little bit from side to side before you tighten it down, so that it's giving the power to the lights in neutral, where in reverse where it's supposed to be, and it's also supposed to be able to tell by the position of this when it's in park and park and neutral, which is only spots where it should be giving power to the starter. It seems like ours, because it's a shitty truck with crappy electrical, is giving power to the starter everywhere. But we want to adjust. The most important thing here is we want to adjust where it's giving our power for our backup lights, because that's our main concern right now is our lighting issue. So I'm going to play with it. What I'll do is I'll loosen it up a little bit, and I'll move it back and forth, and we'll play with it, and we'll see if we can get it in the right spot. If I go down into reverse, okay, so now I'm in reverse, and when I'm in reverse, I'm going to want power to both of those circuits. So I got no power there. Got no power on that side. So if I loosen this up just a little bit, all right, you can see how I hope I'm on camera here. As I move it, I'm in reverse. Right now I don't have power on both sides, I only have power on one. And as I move the switch, now I got power on my reverse light on that circuit. So I'm going to hold it in position right there, and I'm going to tighten the screws down. All right, so now I got power to my power coming in, and I'm in park right now, so I shouldn't have power going out. And I do, which is no good because I don't want power going out. Oh, now I'm in park, okay. So it's right on the edge there, you see that? So it could probably use a little bit more adjustment because I'm not actually in reverse until I do that, okay. So there I am in reverse and it works. And I go into neutral and it goes out. Back into reverse and it's on. And back into park and it's off. Okay. So I'm actually in a good spot. All right. If you need to readjust, all you got to do is loosen these little machine screws and turn that neutral safety switch. Now why it's working there, but I still have power to my start circuit, I have no idea. If I take this off completely, right, those two wires aren't making contact, I should have no power to my start circuit right now, but I still do. So apparently some of the factory wiring has been tampered with, because that shouldn't give us any power to start when that's not plugged in. All right, so like almost everything else with this rolling heap of shit, we put a new part in, solved one problem remained. So we got our reverse lighting circuit set, so we know what wire is giving us juice coming out of the reverse. As far as the start in any gear, it's starting when it's disconnected, which doesn't make any sense, which means this wiring has really been hacked up, because if those two aren't making contact together, the starter circuit should never engage, and it's engaging even when it's unplugged, and they're completely separate. So something's going on with that. But just so that you could see on this old one, right, these are the long slots. All you do is loosen those set screws a little bit, and you adjust it this way, and you would be adjusting it for two reasons, which is one, that reverse light, so you put it in reverse and make sure it's lighting up when it's in reverse, and the other one, once the reverse is pretty close, the park and the neutral should be good, and vice versa. If you got the park and the neutral set, so it only starts in park and neutral, the reverse should be in its happy place too. It's a little bit of trial and error back and forth. That's why sometimes when you see a guy, he's in drive and his reverse lights are on, because this is out of whack. But neutral safety switch, it's an inexpensive item. What we really needed was that reverse light circuit, so that I could put lights in the back that will light up when I'm backing up at night, because I can't see shit when I'm backing up at night with this thing with no lights in the back. Link in the description below for this part. It's a standard NS52. You could use neutral safety NS52 across a bunch of different brands, but this was the cheapest I could find it for a decent replacement part, which was on Amazon, and I'll put a link in the description. So that's it for this one. We're getting closer to getting lights. So we got some lights ordered in, and we're going to be trying to mock them up and run new wires for those lights. The directionals were a disaster, so we're going to be putting one of those Street Rod aftermarket directional kits in it, and we'll do them. In each video, we'll try to do just one thing and get us a little bit closer. And we'll put all these videos for this wiring in a playlist, because guys doing an old car, an old truck, or anything, it doesn't have to be a step van like this. They're pretty all basic, and guys that need to get an electrical system together, or lights and directionals and shit like that, it might be helpful to you. So that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, please give us a thumbs up. And if you like what we're doing here at Axel's Garage, don't forget, subscribe to our channel. And as always, thanks for watching.